This isn't fat under your skin. It's fat inside your muscle. A new study says ultra-processed foods are literally marbling your muscles like steak. And here's the important part. That signal is real. But the explanation most people are giving you is wrong. Researchers scanned people's thighs using MRI. What they found was more intramuscular fat in people eating more ultra-processed foods, even after adjusting for weight and activity. So this isn't just about obesity, it's about muscle quality. And that's a very different problem. Because this kind of fat doesn't show up in the mirror. It shows up in how your body actually performs. So less strength, worse metabolic health, higher risk of decline over time. Now here's where things start to break. This study shows correlation, not causation. It's just a snapshot. It's not a timeline. So we don't know what came first. It's just as plausible that people with worse muscle health, so people that move less, cook less, and rely more on convenient food, which means the direction could be flipped. And the population matters too. These weren't generally healthy adults. There were people already at risk for knee osteoarthritis. So this is a signal, but it's a narrow one. Now let's ask the more interesting question. Why would this happen at all? And there are a few plausible mechanisms. Lower protein intake, less muscle repair, higher calorie density, fat spillover into the muscle, insulin resistance altering that fat storage, chronic inflammation impairing muscle metabolism. But notice something. None of those require ultra-processed foods specifically. They require a certain pattern of eating. And that's the key shift. Because ultra-processed foods don't just contain things, they create behaviors. They're easy to overeat. They're less filling per calorie. You eat them faster, you crave them more. And in control trials, people eat about 500 more calories per day on ultra-processed diets without even trying. So the problem isn't just the food, it's the pattern the food creates. And now we get to the deeper layer. Why does this pattern exist everywhere? Because it's incredibly profitable. These foods are cheap to make, easy to store, easy to ship, and they're designed to be eaten again and again. This isn't a nutrition system, it's a distribution system optimized for repeat consumption. And that system doesn't need you to be unhealthy, it just needs you to keep eating, which leads to a quiet shift over time. Less protein density, more calories, less muscle stimulus, more metabolic drift, and eventually changes like this start to show up. Not as weight gain, but as lower quality tissue. So yes, the study is pointing at something real, but it's not telling you that processing is the villain. It's showing you what happens when behavior, biology, and incentives all align in the same direction. This isn't about processed versus unprocessed food. It's about whether your environment is quietly training your body to weaken. See you in the next one.